ESPN presents the PBA Tour. Tonight, we're in Bedford, Ohio for the step-ladder finals of the Cleveland Open. Welcome to Ambassador Bedford Lanes. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Durbin, and tonight we've got a great cast of 5 veteran champions, highlighted by our #1 qualifier, a former Tournament of Champions winner. He finished second in this event in 1994. I speak of George Branham III. He's followed by our #2 qualifier. He's also a Tournament of Champions winner. He won it twice, but he hasn't won since 1988, and he wants to break that drought tonight, Mark Williams. Our #3 qualifier is the Tour's leading money winner, a bowler with a propensity for bowling 300 games. He's bowled 54 of them, 3 this year, Bob Learn. My partner, PBA Hall of Famer Marshall Holman, is with the 2 combatants that are going to square off in the opening match. Let's go to Marshall.
Well, thank you very much, Mike. I'm with Walter Ray Williams, Jr., the #5 qualifier, the #1 seeded bowler in the world. Walter, I noticed you got here a little late. You were the last person to start practicing. Did you know what the lanes are going to be like? Are they what you expected?
They're pretty close to what I expected. The lanes are a little bit different for me. In fact, I'm going to probably use 2 different balls, one for each different lane, and then I got a spare ball. Hopefully I'll never have to use that today.
All right, Walter. Well, good luck to you. Our #4 qualifier, John Mazza. John, yesterday you had a lot of trouble early in the day. You came back last night and you absolutely smoked them. What kind of adjustments did you make?
Well, Marshall, I watched Parker bowl in the 3rd in the morning round. He bowled about 150 over as well as Johnny Petraglia, and they were kind of hooking the ball, and I decided I was going to hook the ball, open up the lane, and I averaged about 240 plus, got there. I want to say hi, everybody at Bay Lanes. Love you guys.
All right. Thanks, John. Good luck to you. All right, Mike, let's bowl.
We had a little trouble with the microphone here, but Walter Ray had no trouble as he opens right up with a strike. Did you get a feel for who is more confident down there?
Well, you know, I thought they both felt pretty comfortable, Mike, but, if John Mazza can control his speed properly, I really think he's going to be tough to beat all night long.
Simply because he's the only left-hander?
I certainly believe so.
Start with strikes.
Beautiful pin action. You know, there's no better way to get started than with a strike to get your momentum going, get you kind of ease yourself into the match.
John moving over to lane 13. We're using lanes 13 and 14 here at Ambassador Bedford Lanes. John's 32 years old from Shelby Township, Michigan. He's married. His wife Leslie is in the audience with 2 little children, Anthony and Joseph. And a quick double right out of the gate.
Well, Mike, he knows he's bowling against Walter Ray Williams, Jr., the #1 ranked bowler in the power ratings on tour. So he wants to get off to a fast start.
Walter, experienced player. He's up to 37 years of age. He's from Stockton, California. And leaves the 2-8. Trying to overcome the lane with speed, it looks like there.
Well, that's Walter's A game. You know, he likes to throw the ball hard, likes to throw the ball straight, and he's playing the lanes the way I thought he would, even before we started the matches.
At the 2-8, difficult spare, poking it at it. Perfect.
Very nice. All right, here we have Walter Ray Williams. He takes a 5-step approach, starts the ball off in his 2nd step, and then right at the end, he kind of comes up. As you can see, shoulder high, and then he rears up just a little bit at the very end. Unorthodox, but he's the best player we have on tour.
4-9 there for a minute. Trips the 4-pin out, leaving only the 9. So he's getting a bit of a little early hook on that left lane, a little skid on the right lane.
I talked with the players, the right-handers, prior to the telecast. They said the left lane did hook a little earlier.
So do you make an adjustment with that with your feet or speed or what?
Well, I think with Walter, he's probably going to make the adjustment with his speed.
One reason why you think John may have an advantage here, because he might be able to just make the same shot time after time.
He told me he was playing the left lane and the right lane exactly the same.
I asked John Mazza about this new pre-shot routine that he's developed.
Mike, I do have a new pre-shot routine. I've enhanced what I'm trying to do. What I try to do is I work on hand positions, and once I secure my hand position before I step up on the approach, then I can make my shot. What I used to do is I step on the approach, put my hand in the ball, and then secure my hand position and fiddle around too much. It would lock me up. So now what I do is I secure my hand position in place where I want it to be before I step on the approach. Then I set myself, then I'm ready to throw the ball. It makes it a lot more simple. I'm throwing a lot more strikes this fall. I'm real excited about it.
Well, he said he threw a lot more strikes. He's thrown 4 strikes in a row right here. John Mazza is taking a commanding lead of 31 pins right now, but we know Walter Ray can always make comebacks. Can he do it now? We'll find out right after this.
Free for small business owners.
Now you can say goodbye to your bookkeeping hassles forever, because the makers of Quicken have invented QuickBooks, the #1 selling accounting software that makes it fast and easy to do the things you don't love doing, like paying bills, writing invoices, figuring out what your customers owe, even tracking inventory and doing payroll. QuickBooks makes it all hassle-free. Call now to get a trial version absolutely free through this special limited-time TV offer.
There's nothing like being ranked #1. Doesn't happen by chance.
You know how many #1s there are? This many.
You got to get fired up. You got to have that fire. That's what it takes. You got the right combination, you're going to win.
Once you get a taste of it, man, you don't want anything else. What's it all about? In a word,
Win. Fundamentals. Basic.
fire.
When you're hot, you're unbeatable. Competition's a good thing.
ESPN's presentation of the PBA Tour is brought to you by Burger King, where you can get your burgers worth. 4th frame action, Walter Ray trailing by 31 pins. Something to start with. In order to bite into that lead, he's going to need to get 2 in a row here.
Well, this is a very important shot. You know, early in the match, it's only the 5th frame, but Walter knows that he cannot allow John Mazza to just run away and hide from him.
Got to put some pressure on him. This is the lane that hooks more. Boy, a little high and then a little light.
Yeah, it does look like he's struggling on lane 13. He hasn't mastered it, and I really think he's trying to hook the ball too much for his style. I think he'd be better served to go a little further right, throw the ball harder and straighter.
We heard Walter Ray. He is wearing a microphone so we can listen in on his self-talk, which right now probably is a little discouraged, maybe.
Well, I'm sure he is. You know, and Walter Ray has lost his last 3 matches on TV, and John Mazza has lost his last 4 matches on TV. So somebody's going to break that jinx. And John. It looks like now John is in the driver's seat.
John with a great match play record this week, 17-7. Finally leaves something, the soft 7 pin. We should mention that if any of our top 5 tonight would happen to bowl 300, PBA will reward them with $10,000, and that's out the window right now for the opening match.
Yes, it is, and that was actually John's best-looking shot. It was the one that finished highest in the pocket, but he left the soft 7. He's a good spare shooter. He takes care of the 7 pin. Now he wants to go back to lane 13 and get those strikes going again, because he doesn't want to give Walter Ray any chance to get back in this match.
Checks the rack, goes through that pre-shot routine. Puts the hand on the ball behind the approach. That's what he's doing, right?
That's what he's doing. You know, he's certainly his own man, and he does things his own way. It looks a little bit different, but if it makes John feel more at ease and helps him to get the most out of his game, then it's the right thing for him to do.
Does it like that? Why not, huh?
Well, he's got to have all the youngsters doing that now.
Walter Ray still trailing by 30 pins. We're in the 6th frame. He's got to start doing something pretty quick.
Well, he should strike on lane 14. He's been throwing the ball well on it. It's just a matter of taking that over and making a double out of it.
Well, that came back nice.
A very confident shot. You know, the one thing that Walter Ray does is he's not afraid to let the ball go. When he gets up into his fourth step, and then he just drives through, he doesn't hold anything back.
He hooked that a little bit more? Or?
He did hook that ball. Now let's see if he goes straighter on this lane.
No, he's going around it a little bit.
He's going with the hook.
Walter Ray cut the lead to 20. The guy who can strike in the 8th, 9th, and 10th is going to win. We'll find out who that'll be right after this.
At Jim Roberts Western Auto, we're more than just a counter with catalogs. We're your parts supply center with thousands of auto parts in stock and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to help you find the parts you need.
Jim Roberts Western Auto is also your tire store, featuring tires of any size to fit any car or light truck. Plus, there's a reliable staff of trained auto techs able to repair your car quickly and get you back on the road again. For the best tire values in the area and fast, convenient tire service, come to the people who know cars and car parts. Jim Roberts Western Auto, 14 West Main Street, Mountjoy.
At Union National Mountjoy Bank, we listen and we respond at all of our offices, including our newest Mannheim location. Ask about Unlock, our new secured revolving consumer line of credit. We invite you to compare Union National's rates and terms for this exciting new product. Talk to any one of our loan officers for additional information. Stop in and experience the hometown personal service that Union National has built its reputation on for more than a century. At Union National,
we listen, we respond.
John Mazza in the 7th frame, and Marshall, you were telling me in the break you think this is a key shot right here.
I think if he strikes here, he wins this match. This is so tough coming out of commercial. He's been sitting for a minute or two. He knows the importance of this shot. Walter Ray has doubled, so this is very, very critical.
Great shot there.
He really gave it his best shot. Just an excellent shot.
ESPN2 will have a Major League Soccer Conference Final this Friday, October the 10th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time from RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C. as the Tampa Bay Mutiny battle the D.C. United. Well, I guess what I had wrong here. It's on ESPN and not the Deuce, so take your pick. Will he get one more for 3 in a row? Never a doubt.
Another very good shot. And coming out of commercial to be able to throw the ball with that kind of confidence and get the job done is really devastating for Walter Ray Williams right now in his quest to break this 3 in a row losing streak.
I mean, he's put in a must-strike situation. Just no way he can not strike on this shot. Threw it well.
Yeah, he made a good shot, but possibly just a little slow. You know, he's been sitting waiting also. Just
at the 4-pin has it. He's a current PBA president. I asked him if that was a distraction or a help.
Being the last 4 years, I've been bowling very well. I've been president the last 2 years. I've been bowling very well, so I don't really think it's bothered me with my bowling. However, it has taken a little extra time to go to some of the meetings they've had.
And his term will be finishing up at the end of this year. Is it the case, Marsh?
Well, you know, he trips a lot of 4-pins, and he didn't trip the one in the previous frame. Comes back down and makes this shot. As you can see, this ball is coming in and hooking very, very late. Now he's going to send this headboard, the headpin to the sideboard. It comes back, little messenger shot for that 10-pin. And it does figure, you know, that if he could have had the one prior, he's still in the match.
Now only disaster can stop Maza. Well, leaves the 3-9. A little defensive shot there?
Well, I mean, he might have got around that ball a little early.
And there's his wife, Leslie, looking on, and Anthony. He has another son, Joseph. Yeah, and Anthony wasn't feeling very well yesterday, but he seems to be doing fine now. He's a cute little guy. Well, he's happy Daddy's in the lead by 39 pins right now.
Yes, he is.
Close out a little error there.
Well, with these balls and the way that they hook so hard in the back end, it's a difficult spare to make.
And we can see that he has a commanding 39-point lead, pin lead, and all he has to basically do is show up for the 10th frame, and he's going to win the opening match. 6 on this first ball, and he has won the match. And that's better than 6.
Yeah, and he's just trying to stay loose right now. You can see that he's actually making a concerted effort to keep his emotions down because he wants to save. He wants to save energy. He knows he's going to be bowling at least one more match and hopefully 2 more after that.
Right. And more or less, he might have been your pick right here before we started the telecast.
Well, I liked it. I liked the way he was talking prior to the match. He said he was playing both the lanes the same. Now he's trying something a little different on that shot. He moved in, tried to swing the ball out to see just a little area check out there. A little area check. Yeah, he's smiling. Area check.
Is the conclusion there's not much area?
I don't think there's that much area.
At least not from inside there, right?
But he shows a veteran move, you know, trying something different on a meaningless shot.
Something some of our younger bowlers at home can take advantage of in their match play competition.
Absolutely, no doubt. Once you have the man closed out, you can experiment a little bit.
Great ball here.
We met Walter during one of the breaks earlier had yelled at himself about being lazy the first part of this game.
Yeah, I think he is a little upset with himself. He got a little slow on that 4-pin. Now that shot, he really cut loose. That's more like the Walter Ray Williams we're used to seeing.
Still, a very professional game. If he strikes out, he's going to finish with 228. He would have, let's see, 4, 6, 7 strikes.
Well, Walter doesn't know how to bowl a bad game, I don't think. You know, he's got a little bit of an unorthodox style. He's a little bit arms are all over the place, and he gets up there and just cuts it loose, just like that.
There's the 4-pin.
Yeah.
You described him, his style, like a tree. Is that what you said?
Well, he kind of has limbs going everywhere when he gets done throwing the ball. But, you know, he is the most effective player we've had on tour in the last 4 or 5 years. So, you know, get it done pretty or just get it done.
He gets it done. Better than anybody else. Won 3 times this year. But he won't have victory number 4 here. Our opening match, John Mazza wins 246 to 228. When we come back, we'll have an average builder talking about the hand release.
Watch out. This is as rough and tough as it gets.
You think you're tough? I whoop you up.
Sports Illustrated knocks you over with the hard-hitting new video, the NFL's 100 toughest players of all time. Plus, you also get this exclusive Sports Illustrated sweatshirt. Both the video and SI sweatshirt are free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. Get into it with Mad Dog, LT, Dick Butkus, Greg Lloyd, and more. It's the toughest show on earth. See it free from SI. You also get free this authentic, great-looking, heavyweight Sports Illustrated sweatshirt. It's a classic package so impressive, you won't believe it's free when you order 54 issues of SI for only $1.48 an issue. Save over 55% off the cover price. Use your credit card. Call now and get both great gifts free from SI. A sports experience like no other. Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
And now, from Paris, from Milan, from St. Louis.
Introducing a new look from Budweiser, born on dating. It's the day your Bud was born, because fresh beer tastes better.
Nice label.
Thanks.
Soccer has found a home in America. MLS Eastern Conference Finals begin when Tampa Bay Mutiny stars Carlos Valderrama and Roy Lassiter bring their knack for goal scoring against formidable rivals John Harkes and Raul Diaz Arce of DC United. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference MLS Finals. Tampa Bay Mutiny versus DC United. Tomorrow at 8. Finally, America gets it. The MLS on ESPN.
For our first average builder in the fall of 1996, I thought I'd like to talk about something very fundamental to the sport of bowling, and that is the hand release. We have 5 great players on our telecast tonight, and they have 5 different styles. But the one thing all of them have in common is they all have a quality hand release. And it's generally thought that the best way to have a quality hand release is to, of course, get your thumb out of the ball first, but to also stay right behind the ball as long as we possibly can, and the turn that we impart on it happens as late as we can possibly make it. Unfortunately, this is not what happens with most of us. What happens with most of us is as we try and turn the ball, we do it too soon. We get to this position. As you can see, my thumb is down right here. This makes it harder to get the thumb out of the ball first. So when the ball arrives at the pins, many times it's not alive. And it also has the tendency to send the ball off target. Well, if that's the wrong thing to do, is there a key thought that I can put in my mind and teach you tonight that'll help us to stay behind that ball longer and make the turn later? And I think there is. And that is to lead toward my target with my ring finger. To be thinking of that ring finger right there as I'm leading toward the target. And as I demonstrated, it looks a little bit like this. If we pretend that you're the target here, as I let it go, you can see that that ring finger is headed right toward you. And in fast motion, it looks like this. Right there. So remember, for that quality hand release that all of us are looking for, we got to get the thumb out of the ball first, but we also want to lead toward that target with the ring finger. Next week, we got a different day. You got to pay attention. It's Tuesday, October the 15th, 7:30 Eastern Time. We're headed to Troy, Michigan for the Ebonite Classic, and of course, I'll be there with another average builder. And in our opening match, John Mazza looked great. He won 246, Walter Ray 228. So the next match, leading money winner Bob Learn takes on a leader in this tournament earlier, John Mazza. Stay tuned.
Things in life can change like that. All that work, and it's gone. But Farmers Insurance can help you get things back to the way they once were. That's why everything we do, from the way policies are written to the way claims are handled, revolves around getting you back to that point. Isn't that what insurance is supposed to do? Hey, wires can short out. Toasters can catch fire. These things happen. But with Farmers, we can at least help get you back where you belong.
Because of its remarkable clarity, Cellular One is the nation's #1 cellular service, clear across America.
When should you use Arudis KT?
I don't take it for every headache, but some headaches.
It takes 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol to get the same relief of just 25 milligrams of Arudis KT.
Now for those headaches, I've got a choice.
Potent Arudis KT.
You love Jock Jams Volume 1. Now, ESPN and Tommy Boy Music give you Jock Jams Volume 2. Jock Jams Volume 2. More of the hottest crowd-pumping jams of all time. Jock Jams Volume 2. Available in record stores everywhere.
This is how we do it.
Bob Learn starting match number 2 on lane 13. He had the choice, so he wants to finish on the right lane.
Yes, he does. He told me the left lane was a little bit tougher. It's going to be the key to him winning tonight. And it looks like he's gone to throwing the ball straighter. He tried hooking the ball quite a bit in practice, and he also tried throwing it straighter. He's going with the straighter shot, a la Walter Ray Williams Jr.
Well, Walter had a good reaction. He bowled a great game, just wasn't good enough to beat this man right here.
Well, when you shoot 240,
you got a good chance to win anyway.
You're going to win a good percentage of your matches.
8 strikes in the opening match. And starts right away with a strike here. What's that rumble I hear on the way down there?
That could be hitting one of the either the thumb or one of the finger holes. You know, with these new bowling balls, when they roll down the lane, they actually start tracking in quite a unique mannerism. They don't track in the same spot on the ball all the way down. They do what we call flaring.
Flare.
So this track could be flaring over the thumb or the fingers. I'm not sure which.
Doesn't seem to be hurting any.
Not when it hits dead flush.
John Mazza bowled 246 the opening match, and 4 out of the 5 finalists tonight averaged 240 on this pair. We can see the one guy that didn't, and he said, "What am I doing here?" And he's up right now. He only averaged a measly 211.
And he knows what he's doing here. You know, that's just remarkable. I was talking with him earlier, and I told him, I said, one of my problems is I never know whether to hook the ball or throw the ball straight. You can get to the pocket doing either. When do you make those decisions? How do you make those decisions? And that's why I'm talking about it, and Bob Learn is showing us.
Did you see that little look he gave Maza as he struck on that shot? Gave him a little look. Just to say, I'm here.
Oh, yeah, he's a confident young man.
And there's Stacy, his wife, and Brittany, the daughter. Well, Maza behind for the first time in either match.
Well, we'll see how he reacts to the pressure. He has a very good shot. I anticipate him going up there and throwing the ball in the pocket. It's just a matter of whether all 10 pins are going to cooperate and fall over.
Well, they're both perfect through three. This Saturday, October the 12th at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time, ESPN2 will have Formula One racing with the Grand Prix of Japan from Suzuki City, Japan. In that event, Jacques Villeneuve and Damon Hill will battle for the title of World Driving Champion. Trying to take the lead.
Well, every shot is so important right now. Doesn't want to be the first one to miss.
He isn't.
And another beautiful, beautiful strike.
He isn't. Well, this is a battle of the OK Corral. Which one's going to blink first?
Yeah, and Bob Learn realizes he's in a unique position. This may be his one chance to be Bowler of the Year, and I think in order for him to do it, he's going to have to win this tournament and maybe another one or two afterwards.
Nice reaction there. Five pin kind of bounced twice.
Well, he's throwing that straighter shot.
Left lane trying for 5 in a row, and if he gets it, we normally go to commercial pretty quick, but we'll stay with him as long as both are striking. And we certainly put an end to that. That's like saying he hasn't missed a free throw, and bang, he bounces one off the rim.
Mike, he just simply tugged that ball. He got it left of his target. It couldn't hold. He would have had to throw the ball extremely hard to make that ball hold.
No split, though.
But he got away with it just being an 8 count. He's a good spare shooter. You'll notice his ball will probably bounce when he throws this. Over the thumb hole. Thud, thud. No problem.
Bang, bang, and they both go down. Another nice tip for people watching at home that you don't have to hook it at those spares.
Not only don't you have to hook it, but if you want to make it, you better not hook it. And he has learned how to throw the ball very straight for spares, as have all the great bowlers.
As always, ESPN gives you all the scores at 28:58 past the hour. And the score with John Mazza is perfect through 5 frames.
And he's still holding his emotions in check. I would have thought by now John might be jumping around a little bit out there.
About a little bit.
Yeah, but he is showing a little bit of veteran moxie right now.
6 frame, working on 5 in a row. That new pre-shot routine gets that thumb set where he wants it. Doesn't fiddle with it then. Well, the pins aren't fiddling either.
He's very, very, very comfortable right now. He knows he's got the good shot. He's got the right ball in his hand.
Normally, we go to a commercial break at this point in the match, but because John has got perfect, we will stay with him. Bob Learn is our leading money winner. I asked him if he ever imagined he would have this kind of success.
Actually, you know, it's something that you dream about, but you never really know if you can fulfill it. And it's something that I still kind of pinch myself every now and then and say, wow, did I really do it? Because it's something, you know, only a few guys get to that point, and I just feel real fortunate for being there.
Sounds like a humble guy.
He is. He's a good guy. He needs to strike. You know, he pulled it again. He just is not trusting that lane.
That's just mental more than anything, isn't it?
I'm sure it is. He said that it was the lane that would be the toughest to control, and now it's more or less controlling him. You know, in Bob's last win, which was the flagship Open in his hometown of Erie. He bowled 4 games, 48 frames, and struck 43 times for a record 282.25 average. All right, here we see Bob Learn on the left-hand lane, and he gets down to the point of release, and he just pulls up on it. Didn't trust the ball.
Maza going for 7 in a row. And speak of no trust, kind of an infectious disease there.
Yeah, he didn't trust the ball. He didn't get good speed on the ball, and now he's risked himself putting this match in jeopardy. He needs to make this spare. He's only got just a little more than a 20-pin lead right now.
Hi, this is Mike Durbin, along with Marshall Holman. We're in the championship finals. Ambassador Bedford Lanes of the Cleveland Open. In our opening match, John Mazza defeated Walter Ray Williams 246 to 228. We're in the 8th frame of our second match. 19 pins separating Maza and Bob Learn, with Maza up in the 8th frame right now.
That was a big shot in the last frame. Not only did he lose his string of strikes, but he's down 1 pin and count, and that 1 pin could come back to haunt him later in the match. More speed. Yep.
John Mazza leads by 19 pins, but we have the 9th and 10th frames to bowl, and Bob Learn's still in this match. Can he win it? We'll find out after this.
Watch out. This is as rough and tough as it gets.
You think you're tough? I would be
Sports Illustrated knocks you over with the hard-hitting new video, the NFL's 100 toughest players of all time. Plus, you also get this exclusive Sports Illustrated sweatshirt. Both the video and SI sweatshirt are free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. Get into it with Mad Dog, LT, Dick Butkus, Greg Lloyd, and more. It's the toughest show on earth. See it free from SI. You also get free this authentic, great-looking, heavyweight Sports Illustrated sweatshirt. It's a classic package so impressive, you won't believe it's free when you order 54 issues of SI for only $1.48 an issue. Save over 55% off the cover price. Use your credit card. Call now and get both great gifts free from SI. A sports experience like no other. Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
This week on ESPN Championship Boxing, Johnny Tapia brings the 3rd longest undefeated streak in boxing to the ring when he meets Sammy Stewart in Las Vegas for the Junior Bantamweight Championship. Friday at 9, only on ESPN.
Bob Learn in the 8th frame. Every shot important at this time. This is his good lane. He must take advantage of it.
Well, he's got to strike here, Mike, and then he's got to go to 13 and make a double out of it, which would give him the opportunity to win this match.
Break.
You know, he's got a chance to be Bowler of the Year this year, and you don't get there by throwing every shot 10 in the pit. You have to catch a break. Now, here's this final shot. Watch this pin action. This was by no means a shot that had to strike. Now, I don't even know what it was that knocked that 4-pin out.
Was it the 8-pin or the 7-pin?
I'm not sure. It happened too fast for me to call. This is the one he must have.
He's gone high the last 2 times on this lane. One more. It held, but
he still didn't trust it on that lane. Maybe he's trying to go more direct for some reason, but it's not getting it done on lane 13. Maybe he's afraid. I know as a bowler, a lot of times you're afraid to throw the ball right because you think the ball's going to come in light and maybe be a 2-8-10.
He knew how important that shot was as he converts the 4-pin easily. Stacy knew too, along with Brittany.
Well, now Bob's going to need a little help from John Mazza, and I don't think John's going to be too cooperative. However, this was the lane he went high on last time, so key shot.
Still 19 pins. Gave it a lot of room. Left the 7.
Almost left the 7-10.
Ooh, that'd have been disaster, wouldn't it? They've left a lot of those this week.
Yes, they have. The ball's coming in so late into the pocket. There have been a lot of pocket 7-10s. You can see the ball coming in late. Now watch this 10-pin. Oh, thank you, it fell.
It was up there a while, wasn't it? Dead center on the spare. So what's he need, Marsh?
Well, it looks like he needs to get a needs to get a mark.
Any kind of mark.
Any kind of mark will win this match, and the best kind of mark is the strike. That's what he's going to be going for, and he has not missed on the left-hand lane.
So you'd say it's almost lock city?
If I were a gambling man, I would bet on John to get a mark this frame.
Well, pay Marshall the money because John got the strike. In the 240s again. He's in a rut. Average 240 on
He
this
has
pair.
a chance to punch out for 257, and just looking very, very confident. That one small little hiccup in the 7th frame when he left the 247 on the right lane, but other than that, his ball's just been living in the pocket.
Another new angle. Did you see that?
He moved over to the right and tried to swing the ball a little more. He's bowling a very, very intelligent couple of games so far.
I remember back when John was not this confident.
Oh, he
different bowler now.
He had what I would call a bowler's inferiority complex for the first few years of his touring. He always had the natural ability, but he could never put it together with any kind of confidence. And
just shows you how important that mind is, doesn't it?
Oh, it's at least as important as having physical ability. The left-hand lane that was his undoing.
If he'd have struck there, what would have happened? He'd have still had a chance, wouldn't he?
If he would have struck in the 9th frame, he could have doubled in the 10th frame to win the match.
Yeah, you could have shot 248, couldn't
but
yeah,
those could-haves aren't going to get him to the semifinal match.
What do they say? If wishes were horses, we'd have a stable or something like that. I mean, trying to finish it out on a positive note, and does. Another professional game in the 230s. Maza's had 228 and now 238 bowled against him. He's going to finish here with 9 strikes. 3 times he didn't on the lane that we thought he was going to have trouble on.
That's exactly right, and it is a great game, but all for naught. Although he's building more confidence for his next time.
Bob Learn finishes with 236, having a tremendous year this year. We see that he's made $200,000 coming into this event. Walter Ray, 169.
All right, Steve Wilson, Dave D'Entremont, Dave Fravor, all having great years over $100,000.
Nice to see Tommy Baker coming back again. You know, the veteran over 40 crowd here, Marshall. Making a great comeback here.
Yes, he is. And Dave Husted, another veteran player, having another very, very good
winning
year.
The U.S. Open almost at will, it seems like that he does anymore. And, of course, Mike Albee is always blowing well. And number 9, speaking of veteran players, he's almost ready for the senior tour. Butch Soper still making $86,000. When we come back, we'll find out who made money here, because there's big bucks to be made here. Stay tuned. That'll be right back.
What's new at your Ford dealer?
The 97 Ford F-150, America's best-built, best-selling truck. Wider, longer, more power. Ford Taurus, America's #1 selling car. Safety cell construction and ranked #1 in safety test. Ford Escort, all new, redesigned. 25% more power without sacrificing fuel economy. Ford Expedition, new. Tougher, offers 4 tons of pulling power and 9 passenger seating.
So what's new at your Quality Plus Ford dealer? Plenty. Here's Maury the Grizz Taylor.
There's an old saying, keep your eye on the ball. It's not always that easy. Hey, keep it down out there. At Titan, focus is important. That's why Titan concentrates on farm and off-highway tires. Titan keeps its eye on American farmers. Jeez, is this what you call a spitball?
Titan, we're in your field to stay.
And finishing in 6th place, Steve Jaros went 16-8 at match play to jump 12 places. In 7th, Brian Voss. He's won a PBA title in 10 straight years.
And in 8th place, Bob Spalding. He was the leader here with 8 games to go. The quiet man from Arizona, Dave Arnold, finished 9th.
In 10th place, Del Ballard Jr. made top 24 in 2 of the last 3 tournaments. And Billy Orlikowski, 3rd match play appearance of the year.
Ron Palumbi Jr. back in the finals again. Nice to see that. And the good guy, Parker Bone III, finished 13th.
Johnny Petraglia, Hall of Famer, running for president again, 14th. And in 15th, Tim Chris, a big Oriole fan, keeping one eye on the lanes and one on the diamond.
In 16th, Joe Purpo, we'll get it right, in his second match play appearance of the year. And former U.S. Open winner Justin Romick was 17th.
Eric Forkel, the smooth lefty, always seems to be in the hunt. And Chris Warren, a Dallas resident who owns 5 titles.
The reigning PBA Rookie of the Year, Billy Myers Jr. was 20th. And a local favorite here making his first PBA Finals, Norm Loescher.
John Handigard, senior player, hanging in there with the youngsters. And Eddie Williams, a rookie on tour with a very promising future.
4-time champion who struggled in match play, Jason Couch, was 24th. And our alternate from Brooklyn, Dennis Jakes. This Friday, October the 11th at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, ESPN presents World Championship Boxing as undefeated Johnny Tapia takes on Sammy Stewart. The semifinal match, a red-hot John Mazza taking on a very hungry Mark Williams looking to end that victory drought. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Watch out. This is as rough and tough as it gets.
You think you're tough? I would be alive.
Sports Illustrated knocks you over with the hard-hitting new video, the NFL's 100 toughest players of all time. Plus, you also get this exclusive Sports Illustrated sweatshirt. Both the video and SI sweatshirt are free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. Get into it with Mad Dog, LT, Dick Butkus, Greg Lloyd, and more. It's the toughest show on earth. See it free from SI. You also get free this authentic, great-looking, heavyweight Sports Illustrated sweatshirt. It's a classic package so impressive, you won't believe it's free when you order 54 issues of SI for only $1.48 an issue. Save over 55% off the cover price. Use your credit card. Call now and get both great gifts free from SI. A sports experience like no other. Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
You know, heartburn medicines have been around for years. First came Tagamet, then Zantac, then Pepsid. But the newest, Axid, now in non-prescription strength as New Axid AR. The only one that says right on its labeling, for many, it can prevent heartburn completely. It's all right here. Tagamet HB, Zantac 75, and Pepsid AC don't say what Axid AR says. Complete prevention of heartburn. Now that's saying something. New Axid AR, proven it can prevent heartburn completely.
Ooh, looks like McCulloch's been busy making more than chainsaws. Are you kidding? Give me that. Let me see.
After 50 years of making America's premier chainsaw, McCulloch is ready to go to work all over the yard with McCulloch gas and electric blowers, McCulloch hedge trimmers, McCulloch gas and electric string trimmers, plus a complete line of affordable gas and electric yard equipment that's chainsaw tough. Put McCulloch to work all over your yard.
And people call us busy?
The Volunteers are packing for a road trip as Peyton Manning takes his deadly air attack between the hedges. But Robert Edwards and the Bulldogs are up to the challenge and ready for an SEC showdown. Tennessee, Georgia, Saturday at 7, only on ESPN.
The semifinal match, Maza against Williams. Maza hasn't won since 94, but Williams hasn't won since 88.
And during that time, he's really bowled a lot of great matches, made a lot of telecasts.
First really solid 7-pin that he's left.
Might have thrown that ball just a little bit firmer, and I would think that, you know, coming out of a break, you want to make sure you keep your speed up. So he might have been thinking of that prior to the shot. He's got to be satisfied with the way he threw the ball, even though he's a little bit disgusted that all 10 pins didn't cooperate. Good spare shooter. No problem with the 7-pin. And now I noticed that Mark Williams was throwing the ball with a little more hook than either one of the other two right-handers, Walter Ray Williams or Bob Learn Jr. We'll see if this way of attacking the lanes will pay off for him.
He covered more boards than anybody.
Absolutely Just a beautiful shot. You can see Mark Williams. 4 steps. Pushes the ball away early. Lets it swing freely. Kind of bends his elbow a little bit and drives through. And just watch the way this ball goes way out. 10 in the pit. He's kind of loved that.
That one rolled out, but he still got it.
Got the good break on the 7-pin. As I said earlier, Mike, in a lot of his matches, there's been some really bad breaks that have cost him chances to win tournaments. So, you know, he's kind of waiting for something good to happen. Might be happening tonight.
Of course, I went to a bowling class for the USA thing. They informed me that I've been using the wrong terminology here. As John goes high, that the ball doesn't roll out anymore. It hooks out.
It hooks out. Yeah, that's a little different way of looking at it. What happens is the ball goes so far out towards the corner. When it makes the turn, it's expended its energy. It's already hooked, and then it just goes straight.
Well, a little chink in the armor here in the first 2 frames. First time he's gone 2 frames without a strike.
Yeah, and John's going to have to get his composure, make a good shot. He did go high on lane 14 once last game. He'll put that shot behind him. Try and get it going here in the 3rd frame. After watching Mark bowl in the 2nd frame, it didn't look like he was really lined up on that left-hand lane, so, you know, we'll have to keep watching as the match progresses.
Yet he chose to finish over there. You know, bowling is a game sometimes of breaks and momentum, and they can switch at any time.
Now, that's a shot that you never would have even seen 5-6 years ago. You hit the half pocket for a left-hander, and you leave the 10-pin. I mean, you can see leaving the 7-pin, but that pin is, we like to call that kind of a salty break, which isn't good.
Not good, huh?
That's not good at all. He's looking up going, what the heck is that all about?
Mark Williams wants to get out quick, get ahead of this guy. He's been averaging 240.
Yeah, and here's his shot on lane 14 in the 3rd frame. Put some pressure, some real pressure.
A little soft there.
A little soft. Didn't quite extend through the shot as he had prior on that lane, and the ball hooked a little bit high on him. It also hooked out, as you said earlier, and it's a good thing it did, or that could have been a big split.
That 4-pin could have had company, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What color ball is that? And he missed the spare.
That is just unheard of. I mean, he's generally a very good spare shooter. Looked like he stuck a little bit on that shot, and that ball wasn't even in the neighborhood of the 4-pin. I mean, he missed this by quite a bit. You can see him jumping, stuck a little bit. He missed that by, wow, half a foot.
Wow. Just uncharacteristic of Mark Williams. Naturally a solid 10 right behind it.
Yeah, he's looking at the approach after he threw that shot. Now here he goes with that spare ball again. Now he uses this ball because there's less friction between that ball and the lane. It goes straighter, helps him out with his spare shooting.
Theoretically.
Theoretically, it's when you can slide properly.
Well, the difference is 1 pin right now. Maza has it. He hasn't gotten a strike yet.
But he's got some momentum on his side right now. You know, you're sitting there watching. You're expecting Mark Williams to make that spare. He misses it, and that's like a jolt of electricity to you. That's like new blood being shot into your veins. He's just ready to go. I anticipate a good shot here.
Ooh. Did that overreact?
Well, that ball got way to the left and hooked very, very hard. And John didn't make me look very good. I was anticipating him making a good shot, taking advantage of the break that Mark Williams gave him. But look at this ball. It's getting all the way out to like the 1 board on the left-hand side. Looks like it's never going to get back, and then it just shoots back to the right. And he's got a wide open split. This is a very, very makeable split, however.
Well, sometimes the breaks you get are not what happens to you, but what happens to your opponent. And right now, Mark Williams' opponent got a bad break there when he could have seized the momentum in this match.
Well, he certainly could have, Mike, and now he finds himself 15 pins down when he had an opportunity, you know, to take a very nice lead. Both of our bowlers are going to have to settle down a little bit. You know, John's been bowling 240 each the first 2 games.
Easy.
Yeah, and everything just been going along his way. Hasn't had to worry about too much. And now he's in a dogfight.
Well, he's been in the pocket twice on this lane. inside. Did you see that?
He went to hooking the ball more.
Boy, is that a gutsy move?
You know, if I think it was me, I probably just would have stayed there where I was before. I mean, I just shot 240, 240. Why should I be moving?
And you hit the pocket twice in a row on that lane, and yet he moved. Will he move inside on the right lane, too?
I would think he would, but I don't believe he's tried it for mid on the right-hand lane yet.
Another solid 10-pin, 2 in a row.
Back-to-back ringing 10s. He's just wondering, well, what the heck do I have to do? That was a great shot. Once again, he just needs to get up there, make the spare, keep making the good shots. I believe he'll start striking.
Tomorrow night, October the 10th at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, ESPN2 will have a college football game as 4-1 Southern Mississippi goes against East Carolina. Well, both players searching for strike ball and leaving 10 pins, 3 in a row.
Boy, that's disheartening. You know, he's such a versatile player. He can also throw the ball very, very straight. He's opted to hook the ball in this particular finals.
Well, he's got the lead by 14.
He's still in the lead, but he needs to start striking because I really think John Mazza is going to start to strike.
No trouble with the 10-pin. Mark Williams has a 13-pin lead right now, but it's shaky at best. Maza working on a strike. Will he double up? We'll find out after this.
Well, messenger 10. Okay. Give me a granny strike. Give me a strike on lane 28.
Okay. Must be the ball.
Columbia bowls the world over. What would you say to a meal like this for only $1.99?
Get a little Long John's right now.
Well, then come in for 2 of our famous batter-dipped fish fillets. Crispy on the outside, tender and flaky on the inside. Plus hush puppies and a lot of extra fries for only $1.99. That's more than $1 off our usual price, and a deal on a meal you just gotta get.
Gotta get a little Long John's, get a little Long John's right now. Get a little Long John's right now. Get a little Long John's right now.
All right, you can see Mark Williams' last shot. Here's his ball rolling into the pocket, and actually it stops hooking. It looks like it's going to be maybe a ringing 10 or a strike, but it deflects, and you can see the 6-pin does not bounce out of the channel and knock over the 10. He leaves a soft 10 on a shot that looked much, much higher in the pocket.
So it is possible to have that ball, even these reactive resin balls, hit 2 weeks sometimes.
On that particular shot, it most certainly did, Mike.
And he moved in. Boy, the 3-10, and now the 3-7. And he had the 2-4-7-10 the time before, so he's really lost on lane 14.
Well, yeah, he doesn't know what to do right now on lane 14, and even though Mark Williams isn't striking, Mark Williams is filling frames, and John needs to make this.
It does!
Oh, what a great shot. Keeps him right in the game.
Just like a solid 9 right now.
Just an excellent shot. You can see he needs to get the ball to the right of that 3-pin and drive it over into the 7. Just a beautiful shot, and you can watch his reaction. He knows how important this shot is. Yeah, right.
Another great big reaction. And the tender touch on that 7-pin, keeping him in the match. Lane 13 is not the problem.
No, and for the right-handers, they were saying lane 13 was a tougher lane. Right now, without a doubt, lane 14 is the lane that's giving John Mazza trouble, and now Mark Williams, he's trying to figure out a way to knock down more than 9 pins.
That's the way to do it right there.
Well, that ball was absolutely just buried deep into the pocket. The only thing that possibly could have stood on that shot would have been a 9-pin.
13 pins the difference. 3 frames to go. Mark Williams has, we see the scoreboard right there. So again, it's going to come down to who can finish this game off.
Absolutely, and this is a very big shot right here. John Mazza is sitting there hoping he doesn't strike.
You just called it. You just called it.
You know, he throws the kind of ball that lends itself to solid nines. He hooks the ball so much, and I've seen him do this in other top 5 telecasts. It's just a terrible, terrible break. He can't seem to buy a break, especially going down towards the last couple frames of a match. He just isn't very lucky. That was a very, very bad break.
Well, it's still 13 pins. What's Maza going to do now?
Well, he knows he's got new life. He thought that last shot of Mark's was going to strike.
Very little time.
He stayed with that hooking shot.
Stay with the splits, too. Again, the 2-4, 7-10. Twice he's left that. 3 splits in a row in this right lane. He's either high or light, and he can't either way. He's got a split.
Well, it looks like he's just afraid to let the ball go on 14. Going with his straight ball to pick it up, and he makes another split. Wow. You know, he's hanging in there. He's trying everything he can. Here we see a replay of this great spare shot. Now, he left this a few frames ago and missed it. Hang on, ball. Come on. He's still got life, but he needs to strike here, and he's going to have to figure out lane 14 for the 10th frame.
Will he get the break? No. The 7-pin stands, and John, the wheels have just totally come off. There's a puddle of oil out there on the approach.
It boils down to a tentative release. He just has not made an authoritative release in the last 4 or 5 frames.
Has the 7-pin, but it's slipping away. 14 pins behind. Mark Williams bowling the lowest score of any of his opponents right now, but in a commanding position.
Well, all he needs to do is just fill frames with good count, and there's nothing John Mazza will be able to do.
And another solid 10-pin. Wow.
It's like watching the same game over and over again, watching Mark Williams bowl on TV in the last couple of years. His ball keeps going right into the pocket, and it doesn't strike.
Cross lane at the 10-pin. He converts it. He's ahead by 13.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my goodness gracious, Miss Agnes. How can he miss 2 single-pin spares in one game?
You know, and he really is a good spare shooter normally, but I think this is more mental than anything. You know, he knows he hasn't been able to win in a long time.
And the difference is 2 pins right now. 163 in the 9th frame. The best he can get is 193. Now he has to double and get 9 to lock him out.
You know, even if Mark doesn't strike here, Mazza's still got to finish on lane 14, and he hasn't been close on lane 14.
I know, but if he makes that 10-pin, the match is over.
Oh, well, the match should have been over a long time ago for Mark. He misses a 4-pin and a 10-pin. It's just very, very unusual.
5 9-pin counts in this match. Here's the most important shot of the match. Now he doesn't mind if he gets a 9.
No, 9 would be just fine right now. It's an amazing match.
The reason we say that, with 9, he would finish with 192. The best that Maza can get is 191.
Well, I got to like his chances to get 9 pins. I mean, he may not be striking much lately, but he's certainly hitting the pocket. That's an amazing match.
Mark Williams has won the semifinal match, 193, whatever John Mazza finishes out with, and somehow the sweep came down on him, and so he backed off. Mazza moves back outside, and still can't hit that lane. It's a strike.
And now he gets a charity strike in the right-hand lane. I really think, as far as Mark Williams is concerned, that first ball in the 10th, getting that first strike after missing, gave him
the emotional
that was the emotional lift that made it possible for him to throw the second strike and shut Johnny Mazza out. And now
he did it.
Right, he was not letting the ball go. He was throwing tentative shots. You cannot bowl a little bit on the scared side and get it done out here. You have to be aggressive.
The question is now, will Mark Williams be aggressive in the championship match?
Well, Mark's in a strange situation where his ball just hits the pocket but doesn't strike enough. So it's going to be difficult for him. I think George Branham is in a very, very good position coming in as the top seed.
Final score, Mark Williams, 193. John Mazza, 191. Low scoring, but certainly exciting. And the people here in Ohio, in Bedford, Ohio, appreciate that. Appreciate John Mazza's performance right now. Coming up next, it's Championship Frame, where we'll review the first 3 matches. Stay tuned for that.
Watch out. This is as rough and tough as it gets.
You think you're tough? I want the
Sports Illustrated knocks you over with the hard-hitting new video, the NFL's 100 toughest players of all time. Plus, you also get this exclusive Pro Football Hall of Fame coaches shirt. Both the tough video and great coaches shirt are free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated, the magazine that gets you into sports like no one else. With your free video, you'll meet the toughest bunch of guys in NFL history.
I'd hate to have to fight that son of a gun.
Get into it with Mad Dog and Butkus.
He was an animal? I call him a maniac.
Watch out for Lambert, the Stork, LT, Zonk, Riggins, and Rocky, and more of the toughest, roughest, and rowdiest of all time.
The single toughest guy that I've been around would be Greg Lloyd.
This is the ugliest, meanest looking person I have ever seen.
It's the toughest show on earth. See it free from Sports Illustrated. Call now, and you also get this great coach's shirt featuring the embroidered emblems of the Pro Football Hall of Fame and Sports Illustrated. Get your choice of sizes for this 100% cotton coach's shirt exclusively from Sports Illustrated. It's a classic package so impressive you won't believe it's free when you order 54 issues of Sports Illustrated, including the famous swimsuit issue for only $1.48 an issue. Save over 55% off the cover price. For quicker delivery, use your credit card. Get tough and look good with this exclusive offer. Call immediately for the new Slam Bang video, the NFL's 100 toughest players, and the Pro Football Hall of Fame coaches shirt. Both are free from Sports Illustrated. A sports experience like no other. Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
Now it's time for Championship Frame. This is a review of our 3 matches in our opening match. John Mazza won it, but he's in the 7th frame right now, Marshall.
Well, this is a real key shot. This is the one that he really needs to put the finishing touches on. This pretty much just shut out Walter Ray Williams.
He did that a lot in the opening match. Defeated the great Walter Ray Williams Jr. 246 to 228 to move on to take on the red-hot 300 guy, Bob Learn. And again, we're in the 7th frame of the 2nd match.
Well, John must like 7s. Once again, he needs a strike to really take command of this particular game. Bob Learn had trouble on left-hand lane. John Mazza's 7th frame, left-hand lane. Not much trouble there.
John Mazza was in that 240 rut, 247 to Bob Learn's 236, a victor in match number 2 to take on Mark Williams. He's in the 10th frame of the semifinal match.
Well, he needs a strike in 9 pins to shut him out. This is a very, very important shot. He just missed that 10 pin, but he comes back and gets that strike, and he knows. Look at that. He's got it in his eyes. He knows how important that one was.
And even though it was low scoring, Mark Williams defeated John Mazza 193 to 191, setting up our championship match. But before that, we're going to have a very special interview, but stay tuned for Mark Williams versus George Branham.
You love Jock Jams Volume 1. Now, ESPN and Tommy Boy Music give you Jock Jams Volume 2. Jock Jams Volume 2. More of the hottest crowd-pumping jams of all time. Jock Jams Volume 2. Available in record stores everywhere.
This is how we do it.
Finding oneself alone in this world can be terrifying.
Poor thing, he must have fallen out.
His born-on date told me he was quite young, and I knew I must return him to his family to ensure he's consumed at optimum freshness.
I don't see him, do you? Excuse me, he's lost. Lost spear coming through. See him?
We'll find him any minute. I can feel it. Excuse me. Don't give up.
Hey, who's missing a bottle? We got a lost bottle here.
Budweiser. Brewery fresh taste. Strictly enforced.
Don't worry, little fella. We'll find him.
When should you use Arudis KT?
Not for little aches, but when the pain gets tough.
It takes 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol to get the same relief of just 25 milligrams of Arudis KT.
Now, for tough pain, I've got a choice.
Potent Arudis KT.
This is your chocolate zone. Indulge it, because now there's sweet escapes. Real Hershey's chocolate with less fat. Sweet escapes. New from Hershey.
The Wall Street Journal keeps you on the cutting edge with news and insights that can affect you personally and professionally. Subscribe now and have the Journal delivered to your home or office. And with your paid subscription, you'll also receive our free personal finance software to help you make smart decisions. Get 10 weeks of the Journal and the software for only $3.80 a week. Call now, 800-356-9800. That's 800-356-9800 for the Wall Street Journal.
And with me tonight is the general manager of Ambassador Bedford Lanes, Joanne Liederbach. Joanne, this is the third year that you've had the PBA tournament. Has it been successful this year?
Yes, very much so.
And you wanted to say something. The leagues had to make a sacrifice in order for this to happen this year, didn't they?
Yes, besides my family and the staff who worked very hard because it's about 6 months in preparation, a lot of our leagues had to be canceled this week so that the pro bowlers could be here. And I wanted to thank them for giving up their bowling night so that we could do this event to have this kind of bowling in Cleveland.
And the big question, will we be back in Cleveland again?
Oh, I sure hope so.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Beautiful trophy awaiting the winner of this match, and we should mention that both of these bowlers, their last victory, Marshall, was in the Tournament of Champions. Somebody's going to break a drought here tonight.
Well, that is very, very true, and I like George Branham's chances. You know, generally, I give the edge to the man bowling in the semifinal match because he's warmed up, but with 2 single-pin misses and not a lot of strikes, it's going to be tough for Mark.
It's still the single pins continue, just a different one this time.
All right, now he missed the 4-pin early in the last match. You know, I just can't see any way he's going to miss this one.
And he almost did again.
Oh, I told you he was going to make it. Made it easy. Boy, he is putting the excitement into spare shooting.
The breeze knocked this one over, Marsh.
It's quite amazing. You know, in 176 games on television, there have only been 16 single pins missed. That's 1 every 11 games. Mark missed 2 in 1 game, and he's a good spare shooter.
And won the game. Boy, he looked like he just got that off his hand.
Yeah, and it just did not make an aggressive shot. It's the first shot of the match for him, so might be a little bit nervous.
George bowled great here back in 1994. Lost to Dave Houston, who had a 7 in a row in the opening of the championship match. But he bowled 238 that game and got beat. So he likes this center. He likes this pair.
Yes, he does. And, you know, during our break, Mark was practicing his spares on the practice lanes with that same ball. Boy, that was awfully close.
George from Indianapolis, 33 years old. He's married. His wife's name is Jackie. Gets the light hit. There we see some of the titles and years on tour. My goodness, 38 titles, 73 years on tour. A lot of experience out here tonight, Marsh.
But certainly a veteran field.
Oh, he got that 10-pin out that time.
There, his ball finished in the pocket a little bit different that time. Was able to knock the 10 out. Looked like he might have even moved in just a little bit, maybe catching a little more oil early to save some energy for the back end of the pins.
Mark Williams from Beaumont, Texas, is the oldest guy in the telecast at 38. Last year he made $123,000. But not that way, leaving the 6-7. bad things continue to happen to him.
Well, there was a bad shot, and he paid the full price for it. That very easily could have been just a 9 count, but he's got a wide open split. Wouldn't it be ironic if he could make this after not being able to make a single pin?
Gave it a shot.
Yeah, he gave it a good opportunity. Not quite far enough to the right. Now, George Branham has got an excellent opportunity here.
That's got to loosen him up a little bit, that open there.
Yes, it does. He's working on a strike. He can increase his lead from 12 to 22 right here with a strike in the third frame. That's great pin action. Now, that was a loose and aggressive shot. And the pins know.
They do, don't they?
Yes, they can tell. If you're pinching it, if you're not giving it a good loose roll, the pins will definitely know. It doesn't matter whether you throw the ball straight or you hook the ball a lot. It's got to come off your hand clean.
George just looks like a natural athlete, doesn't he?
Well, he certainly is an athlete. You know, he works out. He takes care of himself. He's in very, very good condition. And he's in good condition in this match right now with a 32-pin lead after 4 frames.
To a bowler who's done nothing but struggle.
That's right. He's had a lot of trouble. I don't think he cashed in the first 6 tournaments he bowled this year.
Well, gets the 2-pin out, makes the spare easier, but he's not going to catch him shooting spares.
No, he's not. And, God, Mark's got to be talking to himself. His best finish, 3rd twice this year.
So he's going to have his best finish here tonight, but 2nd is not what he's looking for.
Well, it looks like 2nd, but there's still a lot of frames left. Now, he went with the hook for that spare, and I don't think I blame him.
The most trouble is he's had trying to throw it straight at him, and what we're recommending to everybody.
Well, he'd best get started right now, Mike. He's moved in deeper again.
Well, that's a good reaction there.
You know, with these new reactive resin bowling balls, they take the oil off the front of the lane and piggyback it down to the back end. So you have to be making your moves a lot faster than in years past.
Well, it just took him 1 frame, and he's been zeroed in.
Well, George Branham averaged 246, and it looks like he's going to shoot 246 again, or better. Here we see George's form, very, very fluid, very good pivot step, shoulder-high backswing, and drives right through it. Follow through right towards his target. Well, he leaves the 7-pin, but all in all, pretty nice. Spare 4-bagger 7-pin. Still finds himself in a very, very good position.
Offering just a wee bit of hope to Mr. Williams, who if he strikes out with what, finished with 248, so I guess if you can do it with a pencil, you can do it with a bowling ball.
You're absolutely right.
George Branham with a commanding 41-pin lead through 5.5 frames. Can Mark Williams come back? It's in doubt, but we'll find out right after this break. Stay tuned.
In a changing world of so many channels and so many choices, who will bring you movies that touch your heart? Who will show you the thrilling exploits of hometown heroes? Who will expose you to the sounds of eager young rising stars? Who will entertain you with a programming lineup you won't find anywhere else? Prism. In a changing world with so many channels and so many choices, it's good to know that some things remain the same.
Chapman Certified. It's our commitment to quality in pre-owned vehicles. Every Chapman Certified pre-owned vehicle has passed a 101-point inspection, and all of at least a 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on parts and labor with no deductible. And with our no-hassle pricing policy, all Chapman Certified pre-owned cars and trucks are clearly marked with discounted prices. Acres to choose from at Chapman Ford, Lincoln, Mercury in Lebanon, and Chapman Ford in Columbia. And remember, unless the Chapman emblem's on your car or truck, you probably paid too much.
Am I a fan of the senior tour? Absolutely. Chi-Chi, Raymond, Murph. How can you not love those guys? Of course, being God, I love everyone.
But answering prayers, forgiving sins, it must be hard to catch every event.
Oh, not when you're all seeing it isn't. Plus, if I'm really strapped for time, I'll just rain an event out and watch it the following year.
Any suggestions on ESPN's coverage?
Fewer blimp shots. I'm getting tired of watching things from above.
Mark Williams thinking it all over. Hasn't won since 1988. Earlier I asked him if this drought has been a distraction to him.
Well, it's been 8.5 years since I've won, and it's just made me more determined. This is my 10th championship round in the past 2 years. I've been a runner-up 3 other times in the past year and a half, and I just want it more and more, and hopefully tonight will be the night I get that victory.
Well, if he's going to do that, he better strike right here.
Yes, he better, and this would be his 5th second-place finish since 1988, and it's just falling apart for Mark. You know, he's trying different things out there,
and he switched balls and moved angles, and just nothing works.
Yeah, and that pretty much seals his fate. I mean, he will have to strike out, and now he's going to need help from George Branham, and George seems to be loose, throwing the ball in the pocket. I know right now George is enjoying this.
Well, our statistician, Phil Ringener's trying to add up here. He gets his calculator out and the computer and everything else to figure out what the difference is right now. And he's come up with 55 pins. As Mark whistles it in there on lane 13.
Well, right now, I believe Mark Williams can still shoot 214. But George Brandham's going at a 229 pace.
7th frame action. Knocks that 10-pin out of there. He bowls well here. And Ambassador Bedford asked him why he bowls so well in this bowling center.
I think I bowl well in Cleveland, period. I think in Ohio area, period. I think when you have a good experience the first time you come to a new place, you come back with a lot of confidence, and I think right now I have a lot of confidence coming into this tournament.
Will he get that one too?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You know, I think George says, that's okay. I didn't want a close match anyway. All right, let's take a look at this pin action. You know, and when things are going right, they just keep going right. Watch the head pin go to the sideboard. He's just sort of lazily coming over and does knock the 10-pin over.
Mark Williams through the nose last time, light this time.
It really is quite amazing that it's
average 240 on this pair.
As great as he's bowled over the past few years, he has not won. And I know for a fact, because I went years without winning back in the early 80s, and it does get inside your brain.
So does it bother you, too, when reporters and everything ask you about it?
Oh, it just multiplies everything, you know. I mean, the longer he goes, the more they'll talk about it. Especially if he stays at the level he's at. If he's bowling great and not winning, people are going to talk about it. If he's bowling bad and not winning, people aren't going to say anything.
Well, right now, maybe the fact that the Indians played great all year and didn't win in this town will distract everybody here tonight. So,
well, it very well could.
I'm still trying to regroup from that. George leaves the 2-8 in the 9th frame. A meaningless shot as he has this match wrapped up and is going to have his 5th PBA title. And again, this will be his 2nd one in Ohio. He said he loves Ohio.
Yeah, and look at that smile. I mean, he's having the opportunity to enjoy it in the final 2 or 3 frames, which generally doesn't happen. Usually you have to win it in the 10th frame.
He's got that Tiger Woods smile, doesn't he?
Well, he's got that I just won my tournament smile.
Our PBA commissioner sitting next to the general manager here. That's Mark Gerbrick, with next to also the former PBA commissioner, Mike Connors. And they're lamenting that we didn't have a close match for the championship match, just like you and I are.
Well, I think they are. But, you know, you have to feel good for George. He's very, very likable. He works very, very hard. There's that smile again.
Converts to 245 with a strike. Will finish with 234.
234 is going to be plenty to win this match. John Mazza had a couple of games higher than that earlier today. it's just, it's a funny game sometimes. You know, Mark Williams looked good in practice and just struggled. George Branham takes advantage of it and wins his 5th title. And another messenger strike.
Went back to the other ball. Finally got a double. Can finish out with 194, which is actually 1 pin more than he bowled in the last game.
That's exactly right. And, you know, you kind of feel good for George. And if you don't hurt for Mark Williams after all he's been through in the past 7 or 8 years, then you don't appreciate bowling. He'll be back again, and he may finish second again before he wins again.
It's no guarantee once you get there. These guys are good, and they're all hungry.
Well, certainly they are. And he does finish out. Shoots 194. Now, where was that break in the middle of the game?
Well, there weren't any breaks, but the people here in Ambassador, Bedford, and Ohio fans, probably all of them Cleveland Indian fans, do appreciate it. Both players getting a standing ovation. George Branham flashing that great big smile of his. Seems like he'll be able to make some money with that smile.
Oh, I'm most certain that he will.
PBA Tour will continue next week. We have the Ebonite Classic. That's on Tuesday. Again, remember, that's 1 day earlier, October the 15th, 7:30 Eastern Time. And we're going up to Troy, Michigan. We're going to be bowling at in Allen Park at Bowl 1 Lanes, and then the television show will be over at Thunderbird Lanes. It's kind of an arena setting there. Thunder Bowl? Yeah, it says Thunderbird there. I guess it's
there you go, Thunder Bowl. And then we'll be going to Rochester for the Rochester Open, and that'll be Wednesday, live Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Marcel's Olympic Bowl in Rochester, New York. I got some good memories. Won there in '85. I won't be bowling, but I look forward to doing the broadcast there.
Well, Marcel's a great host up there, and we look forward to getting together with him right now. George Branham, our winner of the Cleveland Open this year, receiving his just due. We'll be back to talk to our newest champion. Be sure and stay tuned. Now, don't touch that clicker. Stay with us here.
Well? Messenger 10. Okay. Give me a granny strike. Give me a strike on lane 28. Okay. Must be the ball.
Columbia bowls the world over.
Ooh, looks like McCulloch's been busy making more than chainsaws. Are you kidding? Give me that. Let me see.
After 50 years of making America's premier chainsaw, McCulloch is ready to go to work all over the yard with McCulloch gas and electric blowers, McCulloch hedge trimmers, McCulloch gas and electric string trimmers, plus a complete line of affordable gas and electric yard equipment that's chainsaw tough. Put McCulloch to work all over your yard.
And people call us busy?
And now, from Paris, from Milan, from St. Louis.
Introducing a new look from Budweiser. Born on dating. It's the day your Bud was born, because fresh beer tastes better.
Nice label.
Thanks.
Things in life can change like that. All that work, and it's gone. But Farmers Insurance can help you get things back to the way they once were. That's why everything we do, from the way policies are written to the way claims are handled, revolves around getting you back to that point. Isn't that what insurance is supposed to do? Hey, wires can short out. Toasters can catch fire. These things happen. But with Farmers, we can at least help get you back where you belong.
It's business as usual. The meeting's tomorrow, and time means everything. That's why this business traveler chooses to fly Northwest Airlines.
If I don't get to the starting line on time, I don't get to the finish line.
Some people just know how to fly.
And our tournament winner, it's been a long time, George Branham.
Very long time. Sitting back there watching those 3 games, I was really getting antsy there. I was getting nervous, and the more I watched, the more I got nervous, and I got out here first 2 shots. It was like I couldn't get off my hand. I said, just relax, man. You've been here before. It's just, I bowled better at the Tournament Champions than this. I said, gosh, come on.
Well, the Tournament of Champions was your last victory. What does it mean to come back and win again after that 3 or 4 years drought there?
I thought it was a bad thing winning that because it took me 3 more years, and Mark Williams is still struggling to win, and I said, maybe that's not a good thing, but not now.
Not now, huh? You got that wonderful smile there. Marshall, you got a question for him?
Yeah, George, when you were watching the semifinal match, did the fact that they were both having a little trouble, did that kind of give you a little inner confidence?
Yeah, well, actually, I was getting worried because I thought John was going to run over everybody. And then after they started struggling, that gave me a little relief there. But I said it didn't matter. I was still nervous, so I said just get out there and hopefully they struggle again. So
yeah, it did look like early. Well, you got your wish, young man.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looked like early in the match you just didn't make an aggressive shot in the first couple of frames, and then you were able to get some rhythm going, and boy, you just bowled a great game.
Thanks. Yeah, Mark didn't start off with a double. I think if he'd have struck, I would have been really pressing.
You mentioned earlier that you love bowling in the state of Ohio. It's been good to you.
Well, we're right, 20 minutes from Akron?
Just about 30 minutes. I came up from there today.
Oh, did you? All right. Yeah, Ohio's been great. We should bowl here all the time.
Well, we had a good finish in this tournament, at least George thought we did, and we have a feature called Fantastic Finishes, and we're going back to fabulous frames, I'm informed. We're going back to 1993 in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. And the feature bowler here is going to be a young fella named Brian Davis. He was bowling Walter Ray. He always seems to be involved in these. Right now, he has 10 in a row. Bowling in his first PBA tournament. That gives him 11, assures him of the victory. The next one right now is going to be a matter of whether he can bowl 300 bowling in his first PBA tournament. As we see the score there, Walter Ray has a lot of strikes in that game too, Marshall.
Yes, he does. You know, Walter always seems to bowl great. Sometimes it isn't quite enough. He's got a chance to shoot 260. This gentleman right here, this strike for 300. He's already won the tournament. This is for a little bit of history, and it looks like he gets it off his hand all right, but maybe just a little bit too fast. Never quite hooks back. Well, 299 and my first title, that's not all bad.
Brian Davis did win that tournament. Walter Ray did not win, as Mark Williams did not win this event. I know that you're disappointed. Can you fill us in on just what was going on out there? You seem to just struggle so much.
Well, I hit the pocket the first 12 shots I threw, but nothing with any authority. And I knew George was going to come over and bowl a really good game, and I guess it put a little pressure on me. And, you know, I made a split on one lane and decided to switch balls and should have just switched on the one lane. It was a guessing game. I felt pretty good when we started, but, you know, I knew he was going to bowl a good game and knew I had to, and maybe the pressure just got to me. But, you know, it's been 8.5 years. I'll try again next week. I know I can win.
Well, we know that you're a determined player, and you mentioned earlier when I talked to you that each time that you have this disappointment, it just makes you more resolved to come back and win again.
Well, it's important to win out here. I mean, that's why the companies pay us the big dollars, and I want to thank Brunswick for giving me the good equipment to get here. And I'm just going to go after it again next week, and if not, then the week after. But I know I can win, and I'm just going to keep after it.
Marshall, you got a question?
All right, Mark. First of all, great bowling. Missing those single pin spares. You're a great spare shooter. I saw you stick on the first one, but what happened with the 10 pin?
I missed it in the gutter, but I struck 3 times the next frame when I needed to. I don't really know why I missed the spare. I don't usually miss very many spares, but I came back the next frame through 3 strikes when I needed to. But, you know, the 4 pin, I just kept sticking everywhere I slid right in the middle of the lane, so we'll just chalk it up to that and hope it doesn't happen again.
All right, and I'm sure you'll do well next time. I know you'll make it back again. You are a great player, and congratulations once again to George winning his 5th title.
And we're going to wrap it up with that, Mark. Thank you so much for coming out here. I know that you're disappointed right now. We're going to wish you luck in the future. George, we're offering our congratulations to you. And for Marshall Holman, This is Mike Durbin saying so long from Bedford, Ohio. We hope you enjoyed the telecast. Be sure to join us next week. We'll be in Troy, Michigan on Tuesday, October the 15th, 7:30 Eastern Time for the Ebonite Classic. Coming up next is the 1996 Golden Gate Dog Show for all of you dog lovers. This has been a presentation by ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.